The EU says that drone strikes on a major city in Tigray in the north of Ethiopia endanger a very fragile hope of peace. Now, according to hospital officials in the city of Mekelle, at least 10 people were killed in strikes on Wednesday. The attack came after forces in Tigray said that they were ready for a ceasefire and would accept an African Union-led peace process. The conflict in northern Ethiopia has displaced millions and it's killed thousands. For more, I want to bring in Leticia Beda from Human Rights Watch, who is the Horn of Africa director. Leticia, thank you so much for being with us. Now, it is, of course, very difficult to get information out of Tigray, but we have seen those airstrikes on the capital, Mekelle. What do we know about the situation there on the ground?
I mean, this is a conflict where real-time reporting has been very difficult as a result of restrictions on communication, which the federal government of Ethiopia have imposed, but also restrictions on access. We do know that there has been fighting in different parts on the border with Eritrea. We have heard about significant shelling in a border town of Shiraro and displacements of civilians from that town. As you reported, in the town of Mekelle, there have been a number of drone strikes, which are potentially unlawful strikes, definitely have had an impact on civilian population there. So we are talking about, in many ways, trends which echo some of the abuses and the impacts on civilians we had documented in the early stages of this now 2-year-long conflict.
It seems that essentially, we had the TPLF saying that they were open to coming to the table for peace talks, and then we saw renewed strikes. So what does that mean about the possibility of a peace process anytime soon?
Well, while there has been, of course, a lot of shuttle diplomacy effort from the EU amongst other Western countries, as well as from the African Union, to try and get the parties to the table, a few things to underline here. I mean, first of all, the abuses didn't stop in the intermediary phase. So there was about 5 months where there was not active fighting going on. But first of all, there were parts of Tigray which were still under Amhara government forces control, and Eritrean forces were still present in Western Tigray zone, where, along with Amnesty International, we have documented a 15-month-long campaign of ethnic cleansing going on. Tigray was also still under an effective siege. So what does that mean? It means that there were staunch restrictions on humanitarian access, but services, very basic services for this region, had been cut off. So this is a region which has, again, for the last 15 months, been cut off in many ways from the world. This was before the recent discussions and potential for a negotiated settlement.